Are you thinking about moving to Longmont, Colorado? My guess is if you landed on this video, Longmont may have piqued your interest, as it did for my wife and I almost 5 years ago. Actually, it's been a little over 5 years. Who knows where time goes? But one of the things that I know is that I know exactly how you feel. You might feel happy, you might feel excited, nervous, scared. You might be sad you're leaving some family and friends behind. I think we went through every single emotion possible during our relocation, but I would not change it for a darn thing, because Longmont is an absolutely great place to call home. Today, I'm going to cover a lot of helpful information, from top neighborhoods to housing market trends and my most frequently asked questions. And at the end of this video, I'm going to share some insider tips to make your relocation as smooth as possible. Let's kick this off with the big picture overview of the Longmont real estate market. Now, affordability of Longmont compared to some of the nearby cities. As of November 2024, Longmont's median home price for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath is sitting at about $515,000. And to give you some context, this is down from August, when the median sale price was at $578,000. Now, no, the market is not going down. No, there's not a housing bubble in northern Colorado. This is just a seasonal slowdown. And this happens in markets where you have all 4 seasons, winter being one of them, which means nobody wants to sell their home in the wintertime, and most of the time, if people can choose, they don't want to buy one in the wintertime. So you see a slightly adjusted real estate values. Now, these values are noticeably lower than our neighbor Boulder, where the median home price can be around $1 million. Now, Boulder and Longmont are only separated by 15 miles. Just gonna leave you with that. Now, if you're looking at Denver, you're likely going to see the median home price hovering around $660,000, depending on what neighborhood you're looking at. And Fort Collins to the north, you're looking at a price range of about $630,000. So with Longmont's median home sale price at $515,000, you're going to be saving anywhere from $50,000 to $400,000 compared to some of these nearby markets. Now, that's a lot of money, and that's a big deal if you want to stay close to the tech and job hubs in Boulder, Denver, or Fort Collins, but you might need a more budget-friendly option without sacrificing any of the great amenities. And if you ask me, it's cheaper and a better way of life than living in some of the craziness that Boulder and Denver are known for. Now, Longmont's real estate market literally has it all, right here in the small town of 120,000 people. We're talking about historic homes near downtown and old town neighborhoods, as well as brand new builds, planned communities, acreages, condos, and townhomes. So no matter what you're looking for, Longmont is going to have a place for you. Now, typically homes move fast here in Longmont, with most properties selling in under 38 days. Now, don't let that number slip by you, as the standard escrow is about 30 days, which means homes are only on the market for between 10 to 14 days before they go under contract. So planning your relocation timeline and having your finances ready is the difference between you getting your home of your dreams or not. Hello, my friends. My name is Noah, your Northern Colorado lifestyle and real estate expert. My cell number is 720-741-7474. Pause this video right now and save my number. Feel free to call me or text me with any questions. I am the only one who answers all the text messages, phone calls, and emails from viewers just like you. Now let's switch gears and talk about Longmont's top-rated neighborhoods. Now, Longmont has neighborhoods for every single lifestyle and price range, so let's explore some of the best options. Now, we're going to talk about these neighborhoods, but I'm also going to pull them up on the Google Maps over here so you can see exactly what the heck I'm talking about and where we are located in town here. So the first neighborhood I'm going to pull up is the historic neighborhood. It's called Old Town. There's actually historic East Side and historic West Side if you want to get particular about it. And what you can see is right here about First through about, I would say, 9th Avenue, all these areas. So you have, of course, the historic West Side, which is going to be west of Main Street, and you are going to have historic East Side, guess what, east of Main Street. So these communities are going to be full of historic homes with historic architecture. They're going to be built in about the 20th century. So if you like those types of homes, if you like large, I mean, these trees are massive trees that cover the neighborhoods, tree lined lined streets, beautiful architecture, and your proximity to Main Street here. So here's your historic east side, historic west side in what's considered Old Town Longmont, and it borders Main Street right here, which means that if you like to walk and bike to restaurants, bars, breweries, local shops, you're gonna wanna go ahead and check out what Old Town has to offer. Now, it's a thing to note here that this is probably one of the most sought after neighborhoods in Longmont and commands a little bit more price than some of the other neighborhoods we're gonna talk about. So we'll move on from Old Town Longmont, and I want you guys to see this on the map so you can see kind of proximity. So there's Old Town Longmont right there. And then we'll move on to Prospect, which right here was Old Town Longmont. And here you can see Prospect. And let me tell you about Prospect. Oh my gosh. When you walk into Prospect, it is like walking into a different planet or a different city. This was specifically designed to be a walking neighborhood. So right when you pull into the neighborhood, two things are going to come out and smack you right in the face. Number one, the streets are extremely narrow with almost zero parking besides right in front of your house or the garage, because the designers of Prospect Newtown wanted to build a community focused around people rather than cars. And if you look at how most neighborhoods are designed around the streets versus the neighborhood being designed around people. So in Prospect, that's the first thing you're going to notice. The second thing you're going to notice is the striking, modern, beautiful construction. I mean, these homes are drop dead gorgeous. If you like the modern, minimalistic, and popping with modern, beautiful colors, Prospect Newtown is going to be definitely a place that you want to check out. Now, because it is a walking community, one of the other things that you're going to notice is there are ice cream shops, barber shops, there's a law firm, there's a grocery store out there, there's a gym, and most of the people who call Prospect home have a work from home, maybe part-time, and go to the office maybe 1 or 2 days a week, or work from home full-time, which gives you access to the restaurants, the bars, the ice cream shops just during your lunch break. So if that's something you're into, Prospect is definitely something you want to put on your radar. Now let's hop on over to Somerset Meadows. And so right here you can see we were in Prospect, which is going to be right down in this area right here. Let me zoom out of this map so you guys can kind of get a little bit of a lay of the land. So there's Prospect, and then right across Diagonal Highway, or what's called Ken Pratt Boulevard, you have Somerset Meadows. Now, Somerset Meadows is known for its scenic walking paths, newer construction, and of course the beautiful mountain views. Now, part of the attraction of Somerset Meadows right here is the fact that it is a very short drive to get to Diagonal Highway, which of course is going to take you to Boulder, Colorado, only 15 minutes down the road. So what you see is a lot of people in these communities actually live in Somerset Meadows or in these neighborhoods here, but commute and work, or their kids go to school in Boulder because it's only 15 minutes down the road. And trust me, you can get a heck of a lot more home for your money right here in Longmont. Now, not only do you have the proximity to Diagonal Highway, but you have some of the most stunning mountain views from this area because you are just a little bit closer to the mountains. And you also have easy access to Loggerman Reservoir, which my wife and I just literally took the kids there yesterday. We hiked around the lake and had an absolutely, well, can't call it a lake, it's a reservoir here in Colorado. We hiked around the reservoir and had an absolutely great time. Now let me zoom out here on the map because we're about ready to hop into our next location, which is going to be Rainbow Ridge. Now Rainbow Ridge is an awesome place as well. Now you can see Somerset Meadows on the map right here, and we're going to hop on over to Rainbow Ridge, which is just on the other side of Diagonal Highway. Again, this gives you easy access to the Diagonal Highway, which again, if you are commuting to Boulder or Denver, Broomfield, this is going to be an awesome place to be. Now, one of the key aspects of this neighborhood, we can zoom in on the map here, is that this is the Rainbow Ridge and Creekside. Rainbow Ridge is going to be down here, Creekside is going to be up here. It's pretty much the same neighborhood, but one of the awesome things about this neighborhood is the proximity that you have to this beautiful, I mean, these parks are amazing. So Left Hand Creek Park is an awesome place. There are tons of biking, walking trails that literally connect you to every single park or every single place you want to be in Longmont. Now this neighborhood is a well-established neighborhood which has mature landscaping and mature trees and a really strong sense of community. Now you're going to notice me talking about the strong sense of community, well, because of the people. The people here in northern Colorado are literally one of the best things about living here. You cannot walk in any neighborhood without people saying hi to you, asking how your day is. Your neighbors, guess what, are going to want to get to know you in any of these neighborhoods because of the closeness and the tight-knit community that we have here in Longmont, Colorado. One of the other great things about Rainbow Ridge and Creekside is going to be your navigation through town. So you can see that highlighted on the map here. You are just a block away from getting on Main Street. That's where all your bars, breweries, restaurants, shopping is going to be if you're into that sort of thing. Trust me, my wife is. So you have got that. You have also got easy access to I-25, which is going to be your main transportation route that's going to go ahead and get you to Denver and Fort Collins, as well as up I-70 to go to all the ski resorts, so you can keep experiencing what this beautiful state has to offer you. So we're going to jump from the south side of Longmont and we're going to jump up to McIntosh Lake, which is going to be up on the west side of Longmont. Now, McIntosh Lake, I take my kids there at least 2 or 3 days a week. We hike around the lake, we play at the playgrounds. It is smack you in the face beautiful. Oh my gosh, the sunsets this last week have been absolutely amazing. But if we can zoom in here, you're going to notice that this is a prime location because you have access to McIntosh Lake and the 3.5-mile loop that goes around it. You are also going to be close to 2 major transportation routes, which are going to be Airport Road, which that road is going to run north and south, as well as you have access to Hover Street, which is going to be another major transportation route. And it's major transportation because that's where Target, Whole Foods, Home Depot, a lot of the major restaurants in town are sitting right on Hover Street. So not only do you get beautiful mountain views from these neighborhoods, you get the access point that is going to basically get you anywhere you want to go in town. And if you want to go out of town, this also gets you on Highway 66, which is going to shoot you out to I-25. And as we talked about before, that is going to be a major plus side if you are commuting to Denver, to Loveland, or Boulder, Colorado. So now let's jump from the northwest side of Longmont all the way over to Spring Valley, which is going to be on the northeast side of Longmont here. Now, this neighborhood, let me tell you what, beautiful. Oh my gosh, I seem to be saying that about every neighborhood in Longmont. It's probably true. I don't know a bad neighborhood here. I've lived here for, I think, going on 5 or 6 years. I haven't driven through a bad neighborhood yet, but I'm highlighting my top neighborhoods in this video, and Spring Valley is definitely one of them. Now, one of the things about the Spring Valley neighborhood, as you can see right here on the map, I talk a lot about transportation because northern Colorado is laid out in such a manner to where we have Longmont, Berthoud, Erie, Loveland, Boulder, Fort Collins, Denver, all within an hour drive of Longmont, Colorado. So we're talking about Spring Valley. People who do some commuting really like this location because you are right next to County Road 1, which is going to be this road right here, which is going to give you access to get out to I-25, or Highway 66 right here, which is going to give you access to I-25. And I-25 is going to be a major transportation route for you, getting to the Denver International Airport, the zoo, if you want to go see a Broncos game. Guess what? You're going to have to get in your car and stare at the beautiful mountains. Not only does Spring Valley get you the great transportation, it's located around Ute Creek Golf Course. So now you can whack some golf balls while you're staring at the beautiful mountain views. And if golfing is not your thing, you are in very close proximity to Union Reservoir, which is probably one of my favorite spots in Longmont. The reservoir, you can actually have boats on the reservoir, fishing. There is an actual swim beach with sand. And I'm talking about sand like it's an amazing thing. Well, here in Colorado, it is, because guess what? Most things are made of rock. So to actually sit at a beach, put your toes in the sand, see the mountain reflecting off of the lake, it just adds to the ambiance that you have by living in Spring Valley or on this side of town. Now, most of the homes in these neighborhoods that I talked about, except for Old Town Longmont, they're going to be a little bit newer construction. Rainbow Ridge Ridge and Creekside are also going to have homes built right around in the 2000s. So we're not talking about extremely old homes, except for obviously the Old Town Longmont. Each of these neighborhoods has its own vibe. So I recommend visiting a few to find out what is going to fit your lifestyle the best. And while you're thinking about what neighborhood is going to fit your needs the best, let me cover some frequently asked questions. Now, the first question I get, and I get this all of the time, and I don't even understand why, is Longmont family friendly? Absolutely. I'm just going to answer that with one word. Absolutely. Why? Well, we've got top rated schools, plenty of parks, and a strong sense of community. And being a parent who's raising kids here, it's also easy to meet other parents because of the friendly atmosphere that Longmont has. I've literally met some of my best friends that I have right now at a park. Didn't even know them. Kids playing together just strike up conversation. Next thing you know, we're barbecuing, hanging out, and they become your close friends. So Longmont is family friendly, yes, but it also is going to help support you emotionally, and you have to have relationships. And here in Longmont, I'm not going to lie, they're easy to get. The second question I get asked a lot is, what is the job market like? Now, Longmont is growing as a tech and innovation hub with easy access to major employment centers like Boulder and Denver. The community is also growing, bringing new businesses and career opportunities here almost every week. Now, the third question I get asked all the time is, how is the weather? Now, I don't know if this is just a conversation starter for people or what, but let me answer the darn question. Let's see here. You can expect sunny skies most of the darn year. In fact, we have over 300 days of sunlight a year, even in the middle of winter. Now, we also have a mix of seasons. So if you're relocating here from a place like Arizona, Texas, or Florida, you are going to enjoy the change of seasons. And it's something that kind of caught me off guard because my wife and I relocated here from Hawaii. We lived there for 9 years. I literally thought I was going to die in the winter times. And I can tell you that those fears were unwarranted because last winter, I only put on my winter coat 4 times throughout the entire winter, and I think I had to shovel snow maybe like 6 times. But here in Colorado, what you're gonna notice is that it will snow during the winter time, and then the sun's gonna come out, and within 2 or 3 days, that snow is gonna melt away unless we have a major snowfall. And then you just grab the sleds, you grab the kids, you head to the sledding park or up in the mountains to go ahead and take advantage of the world-class ski resorts we have right here in our backyard. Now, the fourth question I get asked all the time is, what are the property taxes like? Now, property taxes in Longmont are going to be competitive, making homeownership more affordable compared to other cities in Colorado. Now, there is one caveat to this, and that is if you are purchasing new construction. 90% of the new construction here in northern Colorado is going to have what's called a metro tax. Now, this is going to be an extra line item on your property taxes, and what happens is the municipality actually borrows the millions of dollars to the developers to put in the infrastructure for the neighborhoods. Now, we're talking about drainage, which is huge in Colorado. We're talking about the streets, electric, plumbing, sewer, all the infrastructure. The municipality is going to give the money to the developers. The developers are then going to take and develop the land and start building homes. And the homeowners are going to actually pay a higher tax amount to pay back the municipality. So it's something to put on your radar that if you're looking at new construction, you definitely want to make sure to know what the taxes are and if you are located in a metro tax district. Now that you're up to speed on the local real estate market, neighborhoods, and the most frequently asked questions, let's cover my top 5 relocation tips. Now, number 1 might seem obvious, but my wife and I definitely did not do this, is plan a visit. Now, number 1, you're gonna think, oh, that's kind of silly, but I want you to plan a visit. Now, don't plan a vacation because those are 2 different things. When you're here vacationing, you're just going out, you're hanging out at the restaurants, you're enjoying the breweries, all things you should do. But if you plan a visit specifically around finding out which town and which neighborhood is gonna suit you the best, your mindset is going to be a little bit different. So you should plan a visit to actually physically be in the neighborhoods, check out the parks, go talk to principals and superintendents of schools if you have kids, because this is going to give you a deeper insight into the communities and the neighborhoods. And it's something that my wife and I actually did not do. We had only been to Longmont one time for my great grandma's 82nd birthday, and of course we were here on vacation mode and birthday mode, so we really didn't take a look around at neighborhoods or houses. We just kind of hung out with grandma. Then 2 or 3 years later, we decided to move here. Never came to visit because it's hard to visit when you live in Hawaii. Now this is something that my wife and I didn't get a chance to do because it's hard to visit if you live on an island in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, and it would have definitely helped us. As a matter of fact, I bought my house online, put in an offer on our house. The very first time we actually stepped foot in our home was when we pulled up the moving truck and my real estate partner had left the keys under the floor mat. That was a little bit stressful, so if you want to avoid that stress, come here for a visit, shoot me a call, let's go have coffee and find out what neighborhood's going to work the best for you. Now my second relocation tip is going to be that you are going to want to research commute times, because Longmont is absolutely well placed and it's easy to get to all of these different communities while still being in Longmont. So what you're going to want to do is, from your job, just research some commute times, because if you're commuting to Denver in the morning or at night on I-25, you're going to be sitting in traffic a little bit. Another one of the routes that gets congested is going to be Highway 66 and Diagonal Highway getting to Boulder. So make sure when you're looking at commute times, you're doing it during a time of day that you would likely be traveling, so you can see exactly what the traffic and commute times are going to be like. But I'm going to tell you right now, commuting here in northern Colorado is absolutely fantastic. And I'm saying that wholeheartedly because I absolutely love it. You stare at the beautiful mountains, you put on some good music, and enjoy the ride. Now my next relocation tip is going to be thinking about your lifestyle and how it is going to change, because living in Colorado, I guarantee, is going to change you. You are going to find hobbies here in Colorado that you never had before. For instance, for me, mountain biking. I was not on a bike ever for like 20 years. Then all of a sudden I moved to Colorado and there's places where you can actually go mountain biking. Guess what I have in my garage? A mountain bike. Now the reason I talk about this is because the Colorado culture here will change you. Now, it's important to note those changes or what you might possibly be into, because a lifestyle change that you might experience after moving here, you want to think about those things so you can pick out the right neighborhood. So if you're not an outdoors person, you might be an outdoor person when you move here because it's stinking beautiful and you can be outside all year long. Now my next thinking about your Colorado lifestyle, your ideal Colorado self and what you're going to be into when you get here is going to be partnering with a local professional. Oh, this guy, because literally it is going to take stress off of you, because you can have boots on the ground here. You have a partner to call to ask about the schools, the neighborhoods, commute times, jobs, anything. I'm here just to help you out. Now my next relocation tip is a big one and probably not one you have on your radar, which is we need to be aware of the impacts of the Colorado weather and soils and the impact it has on your potential new home. Now what I'm talking about here is the fact that yes, we do get 300 days of sunshine, and because we're almost a mile above sea level, which doesn't sound like much, the sun is going to degrade everything it comes in contact with, which includes the toys that your kids leave in the backyard, the paint on your car, and you guessed it, the siding and the cladding that is on the exterior of your home. So it's something you definitely want to know about. As we're taking a look at the properties, we want to look at the side of the properties that are exposed to the sun. You take your fingers, you poke it under the siding, you check out the home to see how much damage the sun has done. If it's done a lot of damage, we just ask the seller to go ahead and repair that before closing. No big deal. One of the other key factors that you need to be aware of if you're looking at purchasing a home here in Longmont is the fact that we actually have 5 different types of clay in the soil. Well, you might be thinking, well, that's not a big deal. Well, it kind of is, because it's the #1 geological form of destruction we have here in Colorado. You're right, it's not forest fires, it's not floods, it is expansive soil. So the 5 different types of clay are going to expand and contract along with the changing weather conditions. And if you know anything about concrete, you know that concrete is not porous and does not have any elasticity, which means that as it heaves, it's going to crack. So you will have cracks in every concrete structure throughout Colorado, bar none. There's going to be cracks in your driveway, cracks in your sidewalk, cracks in your slab, and sometimes there's going to be cracks in the foundation. Now, it's interesting to note that just because there are cracks in your foundation doesn't mean that it's going to negatively impact your structure. And knowing these things before you move or while you're actually looking at homes can can just help you identify some of these issues that could potentially lead to problems. Yes, Longmont is my home, but it's more than a place to live. It's an absolutely thriving community with fantastic views of the Rocky Mountains, vibrant local culture, and a welcoming atmosphere because the people, if you're from Longmont, thank you so much for being damn awesome and creating an amazing community for me and my clients to call home. Now, after all this, if you're still around and considering relocating to Longmont, I'd love to help you find the perfect home and make your move as seamless as possible. All you have to do in order to do that is shoot me a text, email, or phone call at 720-741-7474. I personally respond to every single message from people just like you. Now, if you want to know more about Longmont, you are going to want to check out this video right here, which are my top 10 local spots in Longmont, Colorado. And remember, stay adventurous, my friends. I'll see you in the next video.